moving toward New York. The other's headed this direction.
How much time do we have?
Less than 10 minutes. Alex, organize a military escort to
President, I strongly recommend we move you to a secure location immediately.
Connie, can we expect the same kind of panic we saw in Russia?
More than likely.
Mr. President, we can discuss this on the way.
I'm not leaving.
We have to maintain a working government.
I want you to get the Vice President, the whole cabinet, and the Joint Chiefs and take them to a secured location. I'm staying. I don't want to add to a public hysteria that's going to cost lives.
I don't think that I appreciate it. I was glad the president didn't bolt out of his seat or do anything.
Line's gone, sir. 2 more have been spotted over the Atlantic. One's moving toward New York. The other's headed this direction.
How much time do we have?
Less than 10 minutes. Alex, organize a military escort to
President.
We better get down there.
Line's gone, sir. 2 more have been spotted over the Atlantic. One's moving toward New York. The other's headed this direction.
Although at the White House they are putting a priority to getting him back as soon as possible, they believe that picture of the president returning to the White House would send a powerful signal. You heard both Karen Hughes here in Washington, Mayor Giuliani just again in New York, trying to reassure the citizens that the government is at work despite these atrocities.
Justin, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have Giuliani sees the fight.
to address the nation. There's gonna be a lot of frightened people out there.
Yeah? I'm one of them.
At the White House, he reaches one of the president's assistants and asks if the rumors about more strikes are true.
At that point, I had heard the Sears Tower had been attacked. There were a lot of different rumors. I said, has the Pentagon been attacked? He said, affirmative. We're leaving the White House, and the vice president will call you back. My impression at that point was they were taking the president out of the White House.
President of the United States. Yes. I follow Americans.
Unfortunately, we'll be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary of RSHace and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're looking at live pictures of the Pentagon where there is billowing smoke. Jim Miklashevsky just reported that he heard an explosion, and right now we're looking at an aerial view of the Pentagon. Mick, can you talk to us?
Officially, nobody knows exactly what happened. I think the picture is pretty clear. According to one U.S. Army officer who went running past me at a full trot, he said that it appears that a bomb was detonated at the heliport. The heliport...
David, haven't you been watching? David!
Good afternoon. So far, the phenomenon has not caused any damage. We have to ask you to try to stay calm, and it's important for everyone not to panic. We have a fix on 3 of the occurrences about to appear over American cities.
Hey, Miguel, come
One is headed towards Los Angeles. The other 2 are on our eastern seaboard, headed towards New York and Washington, D.C.
Transportation Secretary Mineta has directed the Federal Aviation Administration to suspend operations until at least noon tomorrow. So no airline flights will operate until at least then, and until the FAA announces that operations will be resumed. Secretary Mineta.
Sue me, David. We got a problem.
Did you try to switch transponder channel?
Did you think I'd be this bad doing something simple?
Okay, let's point the dish on the other side.
We tried that, it didn't work. It's almost as though they weren't even there.
In New York, Boston, I got a little situation with American 11, American 11. He is a 767 departing Boston going to LAX. We don't know where the aircraft is going. He is supposedly going to LAX, was going westbound. We lost his frequency, then we lost his transponder, and now the aircraft is just west of Albany heading due south. Oh, my goodness. Do we have the data block on it? Yeah, it's a primary target presently, and it's heading southwestbound.
Let's do this. I got a lock on the pattern of that signal, and so we can filter it out. But if my calculations are right, it's going to be gone in like 7 hours anyway. It's reducing itself every time it recycles, so eventually it's going to disappear. You listening?
You believe that?
General Shelton, if he would like to say anything, and then we will allow the others to make a remark or two.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Secretary just said, today we have watched the tragedy of an outrageous act of barbaric terrorism carried out by fanatics against both civilians and military people.
No.
You're driving.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Come on, come on. There.
Let me see you do that.
In addition, the entire staff of the White House and the old executive office building, State Department has been scattered around town. There's very little information about how this government is running and from where it's being run.
No, we do not have a plane to approach the Capitol today. I'm sorry?
Are they going in session tonight? Are they going to be in session tomorrow?
That decision will be handled by the House and Senate leadership. We'll have that later on this afternoon. As soon as I have word, the leadership will either issue that statement themselves or they'll issue a statement through me.
Can they be in session anywhere but the Capitol building? Can they conduct business somewhere else at an off-site location?
I don't anticipate that to happen.
Who just got into the chopper that landed on the Capitol grounds?
That's an area that deals with direct security and national security issues. I'm sorry, I can't disclose that information. What I can tell you is we have taken.
I know why we have satellite disruption.
Right, go ahead.
Let's say that you want to coordinate with spaceships on different sides of the Earth. They couldn't send a direct signal, right?
You're talking about line of sight.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Where the Earth prevents it. You need satellites to relay that signal or to reach each ship. I found a signal hidden inside our own satellite system.
Excuse me, Mr. President. You're starting.
They're using our own satellites against us. The clock is ticking.
We have 4 aircraft that went down, apparently under similar circumstances. We presume after being hijacked. We don't know by how many people, how they were armed, what they did, whether they took over the controls of the aircraft, and that'll be something that we will presumably learn when they get the so-called black boxes out of those aircraft, which would record the last 30 minutes at least, Dr. Cooper, of what was going on in that aircraft, in addition to all the instrumentations. It was at this altitude, it was going this direction. But it would actually have a cockpit voice recorder giving us, at least in the old versions of the recorders, 30 minutes worth of information.
And we should also point out that the terrorists didn't necessarily have to commandeer the pilot to fly. Many of them know how to fly and could have taken controls themselves.
Yes, this is the case with a lot of these hijackings, and it's terribly easy to hijack a plane. The real question is, what do you do with it after you've got it?
Right. Once you got it and you're in control of the aircraft, what do you do with it? Well,